At work, they gave him the perfume account because he was a poet, i.e. fag. Leaving open vials on his desk to inspire the young homo who stumbled in sick in a dirty shirt and shoved the disgusting shit out the window by his desk, ending that. Hart published a poem called Chaplinesque, and he and Charlie Chaplin went out on the town. Charlie didn't drink, but Hart must have been charming, not just terrible, and together they hit a bunch of parties in the village. Imagine some party where Hart Crane and Charlie Chaplin stroll in. I remember watching Allen Ginsberg and Robert Lowell talking one night at a party at Allen's. Lowell was scary, manic eyes, big glasses, white shirt, of course. Allen wore a white shirt too, but Allen's was Buddhist. Lowell's took up more real space. At the reading, Gregory Corso yelled at Lowell, "You're talking to us like we're in school." Allen yelled back, "Shut up, Gregory." At a giant party in Tribeca, Robert De Niro was there. This is about 1982. He was wearing a beret and a plaid flannel shirt. He looked like all of us, only a little more deliberate. I was tripping my brains out. It was bright. I said, "Are you Robert De Niro, the actor?" He smiled sweetly, waiting. "I am Eileen Myles, the poet." His smile got even better, and about 1 million women swarmed him. When I toured with Jim Carroll, we didn't hang out, except one night we split a pint of ice cream in our hotel. That meant that Jim took a knife and cut the pint in half, and we each went back to our rooms, yelling down the hall about the night we split a pint in Milwaukee. I don't think you're supposed to become as steeped in your materials as I did with Hart. I attached my homosexual poet to him and took a ride. Planes overhead, a train hurtling along its tracks. They had so much time back then, and they were meanwhile very interested in speed. They thought the future would be amazing, and it is, don't you think? I always think about a line Hart Crane wrote 2 different ways. The Bridge at Estador is the poem the good version's in. It was definitely one of those back-of-the-book poems, really cranky. In many ways, Hart was like any weird guy, or the poem was what you'd find in anyone's notebook that was great. It was subtitled, "An Impromptu Aesthetic Tirade." High on the bridge at Estador, where no one ever has been before. A few lines below is the killer. But some are twisted with the love of things irreconcilable, the slant moon with a slanting hill. And then he follows it up. He gets all echoey and Vedic. "Oh, beauty's fool, that you will never see them again, you won't forget." Twisted by the love of things irreconcilable. That was it. That was being gay for me. The slant moon with a slanting hill. The line just never undid itself. It's unbelievable, and every time it ripples in the exact same light, like the moon falling on those coats in the attic, the ocean not far away, you could hear it. Hart was haunted by the love of a remote, but certain resemblance you could not consume but could only view. That got under my skin. I just sat at my typewriter and felt. I thought about Rose. "I'm your sister," she whispered. What did that mean? I didn't think incest was so bad if you loved somebody. She said no. I flipped the pages. He liked sailors. To write the piece, I took a ton of amphetamine. I had a doctor in Queens. Yet I was a drug coward, too afraid to go days on end. I'd go 3 or 4, live sleepless and sad, accomplishing rote kinds of work in bursts of energy, cleaning house. It was really ridiculous. The very thing I took it for, to write, was in fact entirely sabotaged by the drug. I was like a needle at the final cut of a record, just perched there, skipping. Time passed, yet time froze. I had already read everything by him and about him. I was full, and there I sat. Couldn't go out. Nope. I'd say on the phone, sipping a beer at my desk, or a cup of coffee. "Uh-huh. I am working. I'm doing my Franklin Furnace piece." "What are you doing these days?" "I'm working freelance. Got a piece from Franklin Mint." "Yep." "I thought you said Franklin Furnace." "Yep, I guess that's what I said, but it's not what I meant." Hart Crane's mother came to visit him from Ohio, and she talked a little about staying in New York, which must have been scary. Grace Crane in New York. Uh-oh. Hart was her family name. He was Harold originally. That's who probably got the advertising job. CA's son, Harold Crane. Why don't you call yourself Hart? Hart sounds more like a real poet. Grace was smart. I bet it was her idea to put the Maxfield Parish on her husband's candy boxes. So the mother and son went shopping, got him socks and a winter coat, which he lost on the waterfront bars that first cold night. They looked at those wan Preston Dickinsons at the Daniel Gallery on Madison, and then walked down Fifth Ave, still enjoying them, and later heard some music. It was just like in Cleveland. As a teenager, Hart went with Grace to hear Gertrude Stein. She went back to Ohio, and he took the Staten Island ferry with a couple of friends.